Hey everybody, welcome to another weekly stock market update. I'm your host, Mark Yegge. Hope you're doing fantastic going into a long holiday weekend, Labor Day weekend. And it's been an interesting time in the market. If you've been waiting on the sidelines, we got some good stuff going on. And I'll show you in just a second right here that the market is going green. And what that means is we got 4 green lights. All the indicators seem to be that we're getting a primary trend going green. So now is the time to be looking at being a bull. Well, we've been bullish since January 9th, as I've been saying, but this is a healthy correction we just went through. Of course, you don't know if it's healthy until you look back. So to me, this is a nice little pullback that gave us an opportunity to buy some stuff cheap. And hopefully we go through another little bull market leg here. So let's go through it. I want to show you this is the cycle of the market in the last year. And you can see the market doesn't go straight up or straight down. It goes through cycles. You can see all the way on the left, that's a big down cycle. And then this year, like I've been saying, it's been a bull cycle, right? So we've had opportunities where the stock market dips. And if you buy, the stock prices continue to go higher. Who knows how much longer that'll last? And by the way, this is education and information, and you must seek professional advice and all that other stuff that people say, but it's true, right? Make sure you do your homework before you listen to anything anybody says on the internet. All right, here are the markets. You're gonna see a lot of similarities in all the markets right now. Here's the Nasdaq, right? That's the tech market. You could see that 3 days ago, we had a big jump up through the 50-day moving average, right? That's healthy. We want stocks to be above their 50-day moving average. We want the indexes to be there. Same thing with the S&P 500. Big jump up through the 50-day a couple days ago. Same thing with the Dow, big jump up, and now we're testing the 50-day moving average, right? We're testing it. That's what markets do. They kind of come back and test, but the Dow needs to test, right? The other ones are now outperforming the Dow, and the Dow needs to play a little catch up, needs to test, needs to show a healthy recovery. Same thing with the New York Stock Exchange. You're seeing a bound above the 50-day moving average, a little test, pretty healthy. And this is kind of a fun thing that I did today. This is the VIX, the volatility index, and you can see it's, the last few days it's just dived for the bottom, right? Big long dive in the last couple of weeks from 1888 all the way down to like the $12, $13 level, which is, kind of a historical low, at least recently. And when that happens, that means the panic is coming out of the market and the money's going back into the market. So what I did is I flipped this chart, and you're going to see that it looks a lot like the other indexes I just showed you. Look at this. This is just the chart that's flipped over, right? That's why you can't read any of the numbers. But look at it. It's got a little double bottom. It's above the 50-day moving average. It's doing all the stuff that we just talked about on the other indexes. Really interesting stuff. All right. Let's talk about the oil companies. Oil companies have gapped up today, gapped up to their recent highs. There's some strength in oil. That must mean that the market doesn't believe we're that recessionary. So that's kind of how I interpret that. And then let's take a look at a couple stocks. I always look at Tesla and Apple for you. So people always ask me about Tesla and Apple, so I'll just talk about them. So you can see at that 299.29 level, that's a resistance level that it's sold off right after earnings. It created a couple of gaps on the chart that I pointed out with the arrows. And it went up and tested the 50-day moving average. It's in the middle of a test, and it's not doing very well, I can tell you. It's down like $15 today. It was a few minutes ago. So, so there's not a lot of love there on Tesla today, but we have a green market, and I suspect that hopefully the buyers will come back in and come back in with some serious volume to drive Tesla back up, because I'm in it. All right. And then Apple, same thing. Apple's above the 50-day moving average. This really had a 6-day in a row run. Beautiful chart. Big move up above its 50-day moving average. It's probably going to consolidate its gains right there. There's a gap that it wants to fill. You could see the gap from about a month ago, dropping down at earnings below the 50-day moving average, and it took a whole month practically for it to recover back to that level. And I suspect it wants to fill that gap and go to 200 and go to maybe 220, who knows. But they do have that iPhone 15 coming out on, I believe it's September 12th is going to be that number. So market's green, stocks are looking green, things are looking good. There's going to be a little consolidation, but to me, we are still in the middle of a bull market, and that could all change. Could change tomorrow, But speaking of tomorrow, tomorrow's the beginning of a 3-day holiday weekend. I hope you really take your time to enjoy your weekend, spend the time with your loved ones, your friends, have a great time, because there's a lot more things that are important than more important than the stock market. So thanks for being here. I'll see you next week on another edition of this weekly stock market report. Take care. Bye.